Hi, this is Tommy from ActiveContext.net. Please like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my future posts. Now that we have that out of the way, I'm going to talk to you about a series, a Netflix series called Alice in Borderland. It was actually my wife that discovered this series. It was after we watched Squid Game, which is a Korean. I have written about it here somewhere, and that was a Korean series about a very strange game with a deadly outcome. And then she found this other series, Alice in Borderland, which were also kind of a game series. This is Japanese, though. You might think that Japanese and South Korean series or movies are kind of the same, but they're absolutely not equivalents, because Japanese culture and movie cinema has been around for ages, and South Korean hasn't really. They're more influenced by American movies and series in South Korea. But they do make really, really good stuff. The Japanese also makes very, very good stuff and strange stuff. I have seen such strange movies from Japan. They are completely crazy sometimes. Anyway, this series, which I don't have in physical format, Alice in Borderland, is about these people that are taken from reality and put into a parallel universe where they must play games, and they are pretty gruesome and violent games where the main goal is, of course, to survive, because if you die, then you really die. They're not in a computer game or anything like that. It's not Tron or an equivalent to that. It's more brutal. It's more like Squid Game in that sense. But they are caught in something that no one of the participants in this series can really comprehend. And I think that is kind of what draws my attention to this series. I think that the mystique is intriguing. I think that the more strange things that happen, the more mysterious things that occurs, it will be more and more interesting. But I thought that in the very beginning, the first 2-3 episodes or something like that, I thought it was pretty slow. I didn't really think that this was really my kind of show. But then something happened, and I think that it got on from there. There are some pretty gruesome scenes, of course. There's a lot of blood, and there's violent deaths. And that is, of course, always nice. I think we shouldn't take any of the characters for granted, because we have learned over the years in series, not necessarily from Japan, but series like Lost, for instance. I think Lost was one of the first where you really could kill off a main character. And there is Walking Dead, I think, and I don't know really, but there is lots of these things going on nowadays. And that was unprecedented back in the day, really. You could not kill off a main character. But nowadays, you can kill off a main character. And there is a shock effect in that, of course. And maybe there's a kind of denial in that as well. Because did that really happen? Did this person really die? Yeah, maybe. Or maybe not. But at least this is a strange TV series. I've seen the first season now. I like it, so to speak, that it's strange, and I think that the first season had a nice cliffhanger. I'm very interested to see what happens in the second season, and that's always a good thing. I think that the stakes will be even higher in the next next episode or next season. Well, let's roll back a bit. These guys, these people, are abducted from reality to an alternative reality. They find out there that they need to play games, very bloody and violent games, where they need to survive, but they don't only need to survive, they need to finish the actual games because there's a time limit and some rules that they must abide. And if they do that, they get days left to live, visa. And if they get out of visa days, they die. And that is pretty gruesome. So there are kind of 4 different genre of games, because every game is rated with a playing card. There are 4 families of cards. There is clubs, spades, hearts and diamonds. That we all know. And those represent a different type of games. I won't tell you really what type of games there are, but these are different games. And there's also a number of cards, of course, from ace to king. And the higher the number on the card, the harder the game is. So I think we starts out with a 3 of clubs or something like that. And that seems pretty hard to manage. So there are harder games as well later on. But I think this is really gruesome, and I think that it's well worth the time to watch this series. And as I said, it's Japanese series. It's in Japanese. I think there is a version where it's dubbed to English, but I have not seen that one. I think that you should watch this in the original language. It's better to have it subtitled than to have it dubbed. I hate dubbing. You should not dub movies, or you should not dub series either. I think that's no good. So should I rate a series? I usually rate movies, but I don't know if I can rate a series. But okay, I'll give it a try. I think that if I were to base this, and I should base it on the first season alone, I think it's kind of 7.5 out of 10 or something like that. It's pretty good, and I look forward to the next season. It will be interesting for sure. So if you like this clip, please put your thumbs up down below here, and thank you for watching.